Okay, need to do some modifications. So I talked about before, a lot of guys had kind of a hook shape coming up. And if you guys can see, that's what I had already done. And man, it cuts great. But this material is starting to fatigue. And this is the second time I've had this crack form right where the hook starts. So I'm gonna have to reprofile this. And what I'm thinking I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bring that profile further up out here where there would be more flexibility out here than back in here. I got some other things I might try, but I definitely need to cut this crack out of it because I've already beat it back straight and welded it once and it cracked on the back side of the weld. This is also where it's rubbing on the anvil really hard through this area. So it's just slowly thinning the material down, and I don't want to lose too much of it. So I'm going to cut out this junk section, you know, 3/4 of an inch down, change that profile, bring it up out here. I still want to leave some of the hook in it, but I definitely need to get about here to about here cut out. Get rid of this weakened, thinned out section. Now I'm probably not going to take it up this far. Probably hook it off right up in here. Maybe something like that. Or in that general area. I'm also going to take this opportunity to cut it back a little bit farther and give me just a bit more of an opening. Not exactly sure how far I'm going to go. Just kind of eyeball it. See what feels good. And by eyeball, I mean squint at it and yeah, that looks okay. I think Wayne said he used about 2/3 completely open and 1/3 to cut. I think that's about how far I'm going to go. I think that's as far back as I'm going to go. And I'll leave the cutter starting right here. And if I had a tape measure handy, hang on. That would give me roughly a 6-inch opening, whereas right now I might have 6 inches way down here, but this is an even corkscrew. So with the speed of this thing running, you know, 60 RPM, I've really only got maybe a 3.5 inch window to get my material in there. So we're going to open that up considerably. There we go. That's where I need to cut, and then we'll recut the bevel on it. Probably turn the amperage all the way up, since this plasma cutter struggles with the thicker stuff. Kind of interesting, I can smell wood burning. It's like the wood is impregnated into it. Hit the duty cycle on the plasma cutter. Kind of losing my line a little bit here. Yeah, smells like burning pitch. So there we go. Took out quite a bit. The slope is more aggressive, but the hook is less aggressive. And a lot of that will even get knocked down more once I get the profile ground into it all the way. Now, just so you guys are aware, I went ahead and put the bevel back into it, 60 degree, and I did flatten it out down here. When I'm editing my videos, I take a short video, and the last one I did was of just the plasma cut. And before I keep going, I play back the video, make sure I don't have any corrupted files or anything, so I can put the video together. While that video was playing of just the plasma cut, before 3/4 of that segment was done, I already had all the slag knocked off and I had the bevel ground into it. And the reason for that, these guys right here, the Kimball Midwest Dark Fire ceramic flap wheels. You need to move a lot of steel really quickly. These things are wicked awesome. And they do last quite a while. I've got some serious miles on this one. You can see I've even cut it down to get more out of it, and it's still working, but I wanted a little bit more of a cutting edge, so I wanted that forward face. This one was just a little bit too wore out to do what I wanted it to. Yeah, Kimball Dark Fire. Awesome stuff. So now we got our bevel ground back into it. A couple little burrs here and there that I'm not too worried about. And I'm gonna try it out like this for the next chunking session, see how it goes. If I start to get any distortion out here where you can see I put the new hook in, I've got a couple things I'm going to try for that. But we're going to run it, throw it back on and run it, see how it does. And if it does okay, I might not worry about it, or I might do it anyways. I don't know. And this is the modification I was talking about. I might end up doing more. See if I can get it out of the glare. See, right there. The idea More or less, I'm thinking this is going to be like a serrated edge on a knife. So what I did was took a 3/32 chainsaw file, set it in there, and I made 3 grooves reasonably close together. Then I switched over to a larger 3/8 bastard file, and I opened up the 2 outside notches, so it kind of gave it a, maybe if I can get to focus, bit of a ridge in between. Wayne has little hooks that he ground in that come in this direction to chop off any strings in between the pieces. I'm hoping this is going to give the same effect. Maybe, I don't know. It's just something I'm going to try. But if I end up getting any distortion back here where it tries to push and maybe open up a crack, I'm thinking about doing that through this section right here, so it's got a little bit more of a chopping effect instead of just slamming into it. Don't know if it's going to work, but it's just something I'm going to try. And if you're wondering about the flat washers, this wheel is designed for an acorn style lug nut, and I didn't have the right ones. I started out and only had 4, and it was starting to egg out the holes a little bit. So I switched over to the flat washers and a regular nut, and that's been able to hold it plenty tight, and I don't have any more issues with it loosening off. And I think that may have been part of the problem why I was getting that split in the wheel, was it wasn't held evenly all the way around. So it was just able to basically work on itself until it started to crack and split. I don't know that for sure. I'm just kind of guessing that. But this has been working, so this is what I'm running with. Probably end up doing the same thing on the other side whenever I figure out or have time to design it. I think I want to put a Reebok on the other side. This side is effectively geared down. The other side I'm going to have to gear it up to get higher speed, but that'll just be for doing branches that are smaller diameter. Threads are a little bit bunged up on some of these, but that's a project for later. I'm still in the process, I think, of getting the chunker dialed in the way I want it to run. And torque spec on this is about 3 ugga-duggas. There we go. All set and ready for the next chunking session. Let you guys know how it does.